October 21st, 2024. Begin with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I sent y'all an email this morning, he is not gonna be posted in my profile, his client, who can't, had something else, cancer or something.
Thank you. So we're gonna have a big gap between 9:15 and 10 o'clock.
No, Matrix is coming in 9:15.
Oh, okay.
That's what this,
So from 9:45 to 10.
yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, we have payroll. Any changes, modifications? I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Claims, not to report. Any changes there?
None.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And the minutes from the October 7th meeting. Any modifications there? Okay, I'll move that we approve. Excuse me. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Highway reports. We have treasurer's report, clerk's report this month.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a part-time person that's gonna be retiring at the end of November. Larry Betts is our part-time sanitation driver, and he's the one that's gonna be retiring. Larry served Du Bois County since April of 1987. Most of his time was spent at the highway department, where he served as my assistant until he retired from the highway garage in April of 2015. Larry came back in August of 15 and served as our part-time driver for the sanitation department. He's been a very dedicated employee and gave the county his all. And I was glad to work with him and wish him the best. So yeah, end of the month he'll be, or end of November he'll be retiring.
Is it really retired this time?
I believe this time, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good stretch. So we thank Larry for his time.
Yeah. He, when I came on board, he served as a District 2 foreman and made him the assistant and very dedicated. Did us a heck of a job out there. So I was glad to have served with him. So.
Give him our best.
We conducted interviews for that upcoming open position, and we had a couple people that we had looked at, but Mark Leakin was the best choice at after those interviews. So Mark is going to take Larry's spot, and he'll be starting on November 18th, and he'll be working with Larry the last couple of times that Larry's going to be there, just to get a sample size of what it's like. So,
What is the schedule for the position?
the schedule.
Yeah, what kind of work?
Mondays, it's usually a pretty full day. Tuesdays, it's about a half a day. And then probably Thursday, about a half a day, anywhere from 14 to 18 hours in a week.
Okay.
So Mark's got a lot of experience. He served as a driver for Cave Quarries for a number of years, and I think he'll be a good fit. He's good personality and always got a smile on his face. So he'll be a good fit for us.
Sounds good. I don't have anything. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Donnie, do you have anything?
Nope.
Nothing to add?
One much to cover. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm short and sweet too.
Mr. Berg, we're gonna be talking later today about appointments for 2025. Is it your understanding that Ann wants to continue?
Absolutely.
Okay, and Donnie, you haven't changed your mind yet? No. Mr. Wendell?
I would like to stay employed here, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to get those out of the way, so. There we go, thank you.
I guess as far as a weed board appointment, how do you want to handle that one as well?
I think Donnie wins the water on that one too. Okay.
Surprise.
Does the rest of the board feel the same way?
Yes. Surprise.
By virtue of saying yes once, you said yes twice. Please, go ahead.
You ready? Okay.
Sir.
So paving is officially complete. They applied the center line and laid shoulder stone on the edge of the road on 350, Sandy Road West, and 450, so that road done. We did receive the final invoice from the contractor. So their invoice, their numbers match ours. So the change order, we created a change order to reflect it, and it's an increase of $491.47, and over a $1,113,000 project. I think that's pretty good. So I just need I recommend it for approval. I just need approval, and if you guys approve, I need signatures.
Anyone have any issues with the change?
No issues with that price.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the change order of $491.47. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Okay, and then while everyone's bringing up the sign, there was a typing error in our annual statement from last meeting. Nothing changed besides the dates. It went from 2024 to 2023 instead of 2025 to 2024. So we just dropped the new dates. Only thing we changed is October 10th, 2024, and it was 25, so we had to go to 23, 24. So very minor change. That was it.
So I'll move that we sign the corrected annual statement. as
Well, I
been
already
presented.
reported the correct one on the last one.
It's just signatures.
It's just, we just need your signatures.
It's just a typo.
Both of the other one never made it.
Well, I caught it and I talked to Ann, so they fixed it. Because the dates are right on the report, it's just the errors.
Okay. There we go.
It was one of those things we were gonna try to get to you guys last week, but just schedule all that out. So
No worries.
just come to the meeting where everybody's here. We'll be done.
Speaking of typos, there's a number between 1 and 3.
Oh, yeah. It was in a hurry. Oh, I was all over last week.
On the,
Well, we have April 39th on here. On Steve's script.
April 39th.
Oh,
It's a long month.
That's a lot.
that was a
Does
typo.
that mean like May 8th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Brett, regarding the POW MIA
Yep.
memorial, did the drawing, did you not see the drawing to get attached, or is that not what you were wanting?
I did not, I was looking at my phone. I have not looked
Okay.
that close.
So he did have a drawing that showed the, I think maybe what you'd asked for.
Okay,
You
I
do wanna
was
double check that.
like I was looking at my phone, so.
Right. Okay, sounds good.
I'll
That's
look
the only thing
at
I
it
wanted to say.
Yeah,
Everything else, I got no plans. I know that they want to meet with Scott today and asked if I could do whatever I can, be there after work today. I got one meeting I'm gonna be to for the kids, so.
Did they send you something in addition to what this was? Just what I had?
But I seen the drawing. And how big they're digging it and everything.
And you have an issue with it, or you just wanna know more about it?
I just wanna make sure they're away from that. There's one pipe under there. I wanna make sure they're up.
And sanitary outlets right there.
That's my main thing. As far as, I think it's 5 feet by 5 feet by 3 feet deep or something.
The way he was describing the email, I guess I didn't see the attachment, but the way they described the email. I
It's
got,
on that email you sent me.
I got no concerns with it.
Sounds good. In short, if you haven't seen it, did you see the email from Boston? They just sent us some information, some drawings, so we're gonna be getting to work on that. Mr. Hope, you wanna come up?
Good morning.
Chicken scratch morning.
Thank you.
I got two things today. The first thing is, I sent you all some pictures about the bank out at the health department. I think it'd be a good thing to put some riprap down. He just kept tearing it up when they mow. It's pretty steep, and I guess he slides and just tears the heck out of it. So put riprap up and be done with it. I was hoping at the end of the year, I think Brent said the highway guys are gonna do it later this year, early next year. I'm hoping to have money left in my budget to be able to pay for it. And if I don't, then use the health department's maintenance, whatever line item they got. So,
I think when we spoke originally, I was thinking it was like 5 feet or something, but I mean, it's a pretty substantial amount. And it doesn't look so steep that if we don't like how the riprap looks, I mean, it should, seems like it should be able to hold grass if it was maintained and not. I asked Scott, I said, is this a mowing problem or is it a soil problem or what's the deal? It's probably just because the guy's sipping a
I think you could probably, I mean, if you push mow it, it'd probably last. But
I mean, I don't necessarily care either way, and you said you talked to the health department.
I haven't really, I mean, me and Sean talked about it. I didn't tell him to put riprap down, but I don't think he'll care.
And I asked about something a little more decorative. Did you look into that, or did we just, I don't remember.
I said something to Brent. I think it'll wash
I don't
out.
think it's gonna hold in that bank like that. You get a first heavy rain, you'll overtop and then push it down. It'll have a mess.
Do we have to put felt paper underneath it?
I prefer not to put felt paper down.
I didn't know what was going on.
When felt paper, when you put felt paper down, it sends a whole riprap in the air. It'll wash underneath it, and also be mass catastrophic. Where if you got no felt, and the riprap can kind of embed itself in the mud, it holds better.
I guess my thought was if the health department, if we check with them and they're okay with it, I don't have a problem with it.
Fine with me.
I would say, maybe less maintenance, long haul.
So what does he use, like a cricket, not a cricket, a grasshopper, one of those kind of mowers?
Yeah, grasshopper, zero turn.
So I got a steep bank in front of my house and then all the zero turn. And, I mean, I just try to make sure my wheels go in a different spot every time.
Every time, yeah.
And I'm able to, for the most part, keep it. Usually by fall, you can tell which one my lines are.
Yep, so please, if it's okay with the health department, the director, unless, I don't know what problem he would have with it, and I know it's ultimately our decision, but just out of kindness, just doing something on their property.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll talk to him, say something to him.
Is that a good consensus that we do that?
Yep.
Okay.
And then another one here is,
Back edge of the west edge.
I called 3 people about getting the courthouse windows painted. And I got 2 quotes back. So I was recommending Talbert's to go ahead and paint them. It'd probably be next year, sometime in the spring.
So are both of these for the same thing?
The same thing.
There wasn't a misunderstanding that this one was for the whole building or something?
Nope.
Okay. Just the windows.
Every time, I mean, he did that with the painting of the courthouse too. He was way cheaper. I don't know.
Might be how much work they have.
Excuse me.
And that could be, yeah.
Sometimes
This
throw it out
other
there.
company may not.
And we've worked with Talbert multiple times on multiple things, and have they done work that you're satisfied with, as well, or you would keep going?
Yeah, I mean, they painted the whole inside of the courthouse for us, and they did some outside stuff before.
So the
Yeah,
ceilings-
they're gonna clean the ceilings underneath the porch, like if you go up the front porch and look up, there's 2 or 3 lights up there, and it's just cobwebs and bugs, and so they're gonna, they got the lift out, he's gonna clean all that.
It doesn't look like those are rusted or those
No,
need painted, any
No,
of
I
that?
think they painted them a couple of years ago. I think Talbert's painted them a couple of years ago.
Mr. Hunter, your thought?
I can go.
And that-
Mr. Stepdog?
Talbert seems to be the one we need to go with.
And to clean the windows.
And clean the windows after he's done.
So,
We'll have to get the money from the council.
but I think we've kind of discussed where that can come from, so I think we're gonna be fine there. I'll say that I move that we approve the Talbert's Cleaning and Painting Service Incorporated quote of $14,000 for the washing of the ceilings of the 4 porches and prep and paint all windows on the exterior of the courthouse.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and of course, that's pending council funding. Unless you don't have that money already.
I
Existing
don't have
funds,
that
it would be additional funds.
Or maybe, I don't know, I'll see what I got at the end of the year, but
Okay. Sounds good.
hoping to pay for the rock with the carryover.
Anything else from
That's
Joe?
it that I got.
Thank you. Take care of it. When were the bids due, Jenny?
Friday.
We're not waiting any, we don't have a, guys, waiting till 9 o'clock today, so bids. You still recommend waiting till 9 o'clock? Pardon me?
No, open them, yes.
Okay. All right, let's go over our appointments while we have some extra time. If that's okay with the board?
Do we get a print on those?
The email.
Yeah. We can press the mark.
I'm right over here.
Give a blank, one, it's everyone line.
I just have mine.
This is it. Greg, if you don't mind. Yes, sir.
How many? One?
Sandy, you have one, right? Yeah.
While we're waiting for that to come back, I have an agreement that is going to be between DuBois County and the Dogwood Animal Clinic. It's just an understanding of what the county will compensate Dogwood Animal Clinic for and what our agreement is. We just never had anything formal, and I did share this with the board, and is the board satisfied with this as it stands?
I'm good with it, yes.
Okay, so we have signatures from all the commissioners on here, and in short, we used to pay for a 5-day hold for stray animals that the sheriff's department had brought in, and either Dogwood or the Humane Society would take up any additional time, and they would also pay for the flea tick medication, but we are agreeing to pay for those items now, just to be a good partner. So I will turn that into, pardon?
You've already voted for us to do that.
Yes, we voted previously, I just formalized it. So can I ask you just keep that copy for yourself, and then you can send me a scan of it?
Can you do that?
And then I'll get it
And I'll
to
post it on.
Dogwood. You want it to spot?
Like Teresa's face and pretty smudge on it. Chad was clear, Nick was clear, Teresa's face is smudge. Something's not right there.
Okay, we got that one taken care of. And then And then further, one other item, that's a miscellaneous item. We've had the 911 and Emergency Management Agency move to cell blocks that were remodeled at the Sheriff's Department, and that's where their offices are located now. One of the problems with doing that is that there are block walls and there's a lot of echo in there. And EMA had been given a donation from OFS Brands, and we just wanted to say thank you to Jeff Eckert, the Senior Vice President, and Brandy McKim, who is on our LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee, for their efforts, and they donated some sound panels that will dampen the sound in the training room and just allow the space to work better. So we just wanted to publicly thank them, and we will send them a letter of thanks. Would you send that to me? Well, I can send it if you want. Okay, so let's just go through these appointments. We'll get started on it. We have about 8 or 10 minutes here. So I don't know if we all have the same order, but I have 4-H Council Board as number 1. And we have Ed Bagelin and Commissioner Stefanogle on there.
I reached out to Ed, and he's more than happy.
So we've got that one taken care of, and you yourself will serve another year on that.
Yes.
Okay, 911 Advisory Board is myself. I'm happy to stay on that unless somebody else wants it to serve on. And then I'll take care of calling Mr. Uehler on that one. Good enough? Okay. Airport Authority, that's a 3-year commitment, or 4-year term. And anybody know anything about that one?
And I don't know Michael.
I don't have his contact, I'd be happy to reach out to him. Somebody can share his contact.
I think I have his contact, so I'll take that one. I'll let you go for the next one, maybe one of them down. I think I can probably just put a star. I shouldn't, because I get emails from the airport board. I'm sure he's part of that. David Ring, I usually contact him about the Alcohol Beverage Commission. I'm happy to let him continue to serve if he would like.
I'm good with that.
Ryan Young, Ambulance Coordinator, and Amanda Ferguson, Ambulance Coordinator Assistant. I can reach out to both of them, unless you guys would have a problem with that. DuBois Strong, I'm happy to serve on that board again, unless someone else would like to.
I'm okay with that, dude.
All right, next one, Contractual Public Library Board. It's a 4-year term. Galen Boucher on that one. Does anybody know anything about that?
I had discussed with them. I can see if she's still interested. I believe she is. They just met last week.
Thank you.
Well, it's not, if everyone's okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
I guess with any of these two, this would be the time if we say, you know what, I'd like to open it up, or I think I know somebody that would be a good fit. We don't have to reappoint people just because they've been on it previously.
All right.
But in this case, Mr. Schneider will reach out. I didn't ask Mr. Hope, but I assume he'd like to keep working. Mr. Schneider, would you like to continue being the county attorney for another year?
I would, yes, thank you.
Would, is this board okay with that?
Yes.
2-1. It's still a win.
It's a majority rule, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, DuBois County Child
Back
Protection.
out and make him sweat.
Yes,
I
I'd
wonder
be
if
glad
Art's,
to continue.
what's Art up to?
He's got more time on his
He's got some
hands.
extra time.
Can't practice anymore.
Oh, all right. DuBois County Child Protection Team, Bruce, are you
Yes,
willing to stay on
be
that?
great, thank you.
Ferdinand Planning Commission, 4-year term, Ryan Becker. I don't know.
Ryan.
All right, let's just start rotating. Cerise, I'm gonna give you that one. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Health Board. So Lori Lugaluzen is one that we appointed initially, and then in 2023, I believe the code said that the mayor is supposed to present us a list of 3 people, and we would select from those. Not sure why that law is like what it is, but
I
I
don't know.
believe that's the understanding.
Department.
Yes,
And last year they had given us that name of, I believe it's Dr. Laura.
oh, okay,
I'll have to check it.
for another seat on the board, not this seat.
They voice their opinion on one seat.
Okay, well, this one has
I thought it was Dr. Laura.
the RN on it, and so this one we wouldn't have talked about since 2021 or 2020.
Okay.
So, would you mind examining that and
Yeah.
find out what we need to do there? Honestly, leave that one open. Because if they helped with Dr. Lori and that was the only one that they have,
I believe they only got one, and I think that was it.
okay. Honeybird Planning Commission, 4-year term, Dennis Whitsitt. Anybody familiar with Mr. Whitsitt?
I'm happy to call him if I can get contact for him.
Nick will figure that one out. We have Indiana 15 Regional Planning Commission, Commissioner Hostetter, you've been on that?
Like stay unless anybody else is interested.
I'm fine with Commissioner Hostetter. Okay. Jasper Planning Commission, Kim Hagan, she filled the unexpired term of Randy Mariner, who had done it for a number of years.
Who's picking color again?
Northeast DuBois Fire Protection District, Randy Leakin,
You do that one too?
you know Randy?
Yeah.
Patoka Lake Regional Water and Sewer, Commissioner Stefano,
Yes, sir.
you continue to do that?
Yes.
Okay, for Property Tax Board of Appeals, I will talk to Mr. Smith to see if he'd like to continue. Will one of you contact Mr. Pearson?
I can.
Just,
Yeah, we just saw Ken.
Mhm.
I think we'll just reappoint Mr. Satar. I think he would let us know if he didn't, if he couldn't. Tourism Committee, Kim Fisher, I contacted her whenever when she had to fill the unexpired term. So I can reach out to her again and see if she'd like to continue. TRICAP Board of Directors. Contact Emily, I'm fine with that. And then Donnie is Weed Control Board. Does that all sound fine and dandy?
Sounds great.
Okay, so we will put that on the next agenda again if you don't mind, and we will see where we are. Maybe we'll get it done early this year.
hey,
All right.
took in.
It being 9 o'clock, we have bid openings for the owner occupied rehabilitation from the health.
I need a sign sheet to start
Good morning, Jenny Lott, Indiana 15, and thank you for serving on our board again.
And what?
Thank you for serving on our board again,
Oh,
to Commissioner Hostetter.
So that's you.
I'm still big, I know.
Thanks.
Still big.
That's, yeah.
Can you keep a list of them?
Yep.
So just these.
Let your road stuff anyway. We have it by house, so that's by house there, yeah.
These are all for housing, refrigeration. So it looks like 2 bidders.
just 3 packages, projects.
We have three.
Yeah.
Jenny, were people asked to bid on each project individually?
Yes, yes,
They
thank you.
could bid each home if they wanted to do a complete package, or if they wanted to bid HVAC or electrical or whatever across all homes, they could bid that as well.
So this may be a little bit of a complicated process
Yes.
because somebody, one home may have 3 bids on it, another one may have none.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. So once we read these, I will get with our inspector, and he will kind of go through and walk us through what the best way to handle all those is. Typically, we have an engineer that handles those, but
Are these the projects?
Yeah.
These aren't.
You have to ask.
that is an individual home.
All right, so that's not a bid.
No, that is just
These are the.
that was their bid specs of the home.
Okay.
So, Mr. Schneider, are you gonna open them and read out the bids, or how would you like to proceed?
I'm gonna open them and see what they contain here, I guess, first. So bid form from Holzman Refrigeration for the 15 regional planning rehabilitation specifications. It appears to be a one bid in the sum of $52,583.81. I just started saying. Oh, okay.
What was that number, Greg?
Sorry, Greg, what was that number?
Total amount of $52,583.81.
And that is to do whatever HVAC work there is on every home in the project?
There's HVAC bids, so they've gone through these sheets and they've filled them in individually. HVAC and water heater replacements. HVAC, water heater replacements. So they are individualized then too on those specific homes themselves.
Okay.
So we might be able to compare that then with the next set. Put all these back together. All of the remaining bids are from Kelly's Heating and Cooling, and they're for individual properties. First property is for 161 East 37th Street, Jasper. That bid is in the amount of $7,500.
Jenny, from memory, are most of these properties having multiple job types being done to them? So there would be HVAC and roof, or,
And we're at that sticky spot where we need a roof, but it's getting cold and roofing's gonna come to a halt. So,
right.
it may be something that we have to readdress in the spring. As far as roofs, we do have until the end of 25 to complete this.
Same bidder, Kelly's Heating and Cooling for 504 West 5th Street, Jasper. Bid in the amount of $7,300.
And to clarify, Mr. Schneider, they're only bidding on the HVAC work.
Yes, they have spelled it out, I believe, in their packet. Removing the existing gas furnace, air conditioner, evaporator coil, and still install new butane gas fired. Yes, so take track work.
So they're not subcontracting out any other work that might be on the project. So that's all, that's the only thing I wanted to add. Thank you.
Same bidder for 401 East 6th Street, Jasper. That bid is also in the amount of $7,500. Kelly's Heating and Cooling again, 503 West 7th Street, Jasper. That bid is in the amount of $8,200. Same bidder for 261 Ridgewood Lane. That bid is in the amount of $7,450. 7450. Final bid from Kelly's is for 2525 Spear Drive. That bid is in the amount of $7,250. 7250. Understanding then that these bids will be taken under advisement, reviewed, and report back at a subsequent meeting.
Yes, sir. I've also been in contact with Mr. Schneider about potential contracts for contractors once we get to that point, but we'll be back at this meeting to present where we are and where we're going with this. And also make a plan as to when we will accept bids for the next round of funds.
What are those?
Those runs.
So we don't have anybody bidding on any of the other work? We had nobody come? Yeah. And as a percentage, is that 50% of the work?
I would say
Larger than 25% of the work?
slightly, yes.
Yeah. So,
It was, we did get the message from contractors at that pre-bid meeting that it was a lot of homes. But I think it's just that contractors in this area have not done OOR to this scale thus far, so. I'm hoping that's the case.
because I was thinking that we put it off a couple extra weeks, and I thought that was for their benefit so that they could get bids in. And
Yeah,
didn't do that.
And several of the ones that were very vocal about wanting it moved so that they could get a good bid in have not submitted, so.
Okay.
Will you give me a list of all that?
I'll tally that up and get with our inspector and have that to you hopefully.
And will the program allow for us to do partial work on homes?
Yes. Yes,
So we can get this work done, hopefully,
we can get this
then we can
done.
work on the next piece.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. I will be back at the next meeting and I will get with you at a time.
Next
Thank you.
meeting, November 15th.
Yes, sir. I'll do this.
November 4th.
Sir.
Jenny, do you want a specific time or does it matter?
Any 9:30, whatever you.
9?
9 is great.
Sandy, did you bring a copy of the scanning of the report? Bring a copy.
I did not. I just grabbed it. I can just return it.
Maybe bring one or two more minor ones tonight. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of gives a different. So it was Holzman and then what was the other one? Or different?
It was a Patoka address.
Patoka, like Gibson County Patoka, or Patoka?
Sorry, it may have been Patoka Road on there.
Thanks.
South Patoka Tower Road, English.
Okay. some surplus items?
2 phones from EMA. And Scott has a chair and a copier cabinet.
So those were leftover items after they were sent out.
Yes.
So first off, I'll move that we approve disposal of the chair and the computer cabinet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And do you know anything about these?
They just got them replaced and
I was gonna say, this one's better than ours, so I don't know why we were, this one's a little older, but.
I thought she said something about they didn't have charges very well. Yeah, I think it's a 13, no, 11, it's 11, and the other one's a 7 or something.
So is the plan to
They,
see if Crisis Connection wants them, or
they've been restored and she said we shouldn't do whatever we want.
anybody have a suggestion?
Still not on charge.
So I don't think it's that will be able to get. Somebody in the county can do.
Nobody's gonna go backwards on phones.
No. Just like you said, Crisis can actually, but I mean, if they're not gonna hold charge, what are they gonna do? Are they,
I mean, a lot of times they're still good for if you need to use it for emergency purposes, where you just have, you're not using it all day, you're just using it in case you gotta call 911, it has some value. So anyway, I guess we can just declare them surplus and allow EMA to find a purpose for them. That sound fair to the board?
good to me.
I'll move that we declare the 2 iPhones that we have in our possession, EMA, as surplus items to be disposed of as EMA sees fit. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And then we're going to have Matrix Ron Betts, right? Will be-
Riley is here and then I'm gonna put him on.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll be just one moment.
Now you got too quiet.
Did it come right up there?
No, I think so. I think it's on the right, the left side. All in there.
You can probably see better than I can.
There we go. Did you all say something wrong? They go to the prosecutor's office, so if they don't, blame the jail.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
How does that get it up there?
You see, the more,
The white, the more?
or, yeah. I would say. And the changes about display, looks that right there, see how long that is.
Try again, talk again.
Hey, I'm here.
That's, we got you on the
Okay,
monitor.
okay, all right, great.
Yeah,
I'm going ahead and, so go ahead and get started?
not quite yet.
And Nick's out of the room, we'll be back in just a second.
Oh, no problem. Did you see my screen, Sandy?
Can you guys see the screen? I'm behind it.
You should be able to see. But the agreement, within is pulled up.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Because I got it on my screen.
I'm gonna move over here so I can see the
I was
screen.
gonna say, I think we're gonna have to. Make it a little bit more, so we can't.
That's probably good.
Is that better?
Riley, you're welcome to
There we
begin.
go.
if you guys know Riley. He comes and does our network admin.
I do everything on the computer side. All right, Ron, I think we're ready.
Riley does a lot for the county.
We're ready for you to start, Rob.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank the county for placing their trust in Matrix over the years. It's much appreciated. We're here today to talk about a renewal of your current managed services agreement that was signed in November of 2021. It was a 3-year agreement. It expires November 30th of this year. So we proposing another 3-year agreement. So you guys can lock in your deposit for 3 years. It's going to be a similar agreement to what you had, but we had to revise some of the counts and do some things to get it up to date. But it's basically a renewal of the existing topology, the existing setup of what the county has in place today. Basically, there's 3 buckets the county has in place today. And it shows here, it is a 3-year agreement. The last thing I get to is going to talk about an addendum, and the addendum has all the pricing. So the agreement is going to show you what the agreement gives you and the T's and C's, etc. And then the addendum is going to have the pricing of what the things cost. The 3 areas or buckets that the county is taking advantage of today is end user help desk and workstation support. So all the users of the county, if they have any issues, any problems, they come into our help desk and we take care of that. It also takes care of any workstation updates, patches, anything with the end user that they have. This agreement covers that. Anything that the agreement doesn't cover, we have recurring hours in the agreement, so that if it's a server patch or a router patch or backup or working with vendor management with Odyssey or anything that's not covered by the end user help desk, the recurring hours takes care of that. We had 16 hours in the original agreement per month, and you guys are using about 20 to 24 on average. So in the new agreement, you'll see we have included 24 hours instead of 16, because 8 hours a month, Riley comes proactively once a month for the county and goes around, makes sure everybody is up to date, up to speed, talks about strategy. He's there once a month, and that takes 8 of those 24 hours for what Riley does proactively every month. So you got recurring hours in the bucket, end user help desk, and workstation support. And then the county is also paying for remote monitoring, server monitoring and updates. So all the servers the county has are proactively monitored 24/7. If there are any alerts, we take care of those. And any updates for required patches, we take care of those. So the agreement basically is, and has been for 3 years, end user help desk and workstation support, which is this, server monitoring and updates, and then the recurring hours take care of anything outside of those 2 buckets. Okay?
Riley,
The agreement doesn't.
Ryan, can you hold on? So on the help desk again, can you clarify, is it unlimited for that tier of service?
Anything that the end user requires that's related to their workstation is covered through the end user help desk workstation support. If the issue is a server issue, a router issue, a firewall issue, an Odyssey issue, that's where the recurring hours kick in to take care of it.
Right, okay, so if people have basic, simple things, we get an unlimited amount of those, and then otherwise it goes to the hours. So under the recurring engineering hours, are engineering hours something different than what you were talking about? Because here, this agreement shows includes a minimum of 4 monthly recurring engineering hours. I thought you said 24 hours or something.
Yeah, 4 is just 4 is just the minimum number of hours that we have to have in any agreement. So the county has 24 of these. You'll see in the addendum where it calls out that formula. 4 is the minimum number of hours that we have to have in any agreement. That's just a minimum number. That's all that is, Chad.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, and the rest they do just has T's and C's, and it has the county's, specific information, starting here with E-Verify clause, that verbiage, and that information is in here to the end agreement as needed, okay? So that's basically the agreement showing, what you're getting in the 3 buckets, what the agreement covers. It's the same coverage that you have in the past. You'll see on the addendum here what the differences are, which I'll go over next here. So here's the addendum. As it shows here, the agreement starts 12/1 of this year. And here where it says recurring hours for the minimum was 24. So that's the recurring hours, 24 a month.
Okay, so I didn't do that.
Sorry. You okay?
You're fine.
Today's agreement's got 16, Chad and Cerise, but the counties are averaging 20 hours overall a month, but this year is closer to 24. So we just want to make sure we get enough hours. 8 hours a month is Riley's monthly proactive visit. So really, you're only spending about 14 to 16 hours a month on things that are outside of what Riley does on a monthly basis. So 24 hours a month is what we're recommending. It is 8 more than what you have today. The next space there is the help desk, PC updates, on-site support. That's your help desk function support. That's what that is. And that was 181 users on the original agreement, and the county has 202. 12% increase, what you had in the original agreement. So that's the guts of what the agreement cost is right there. It's $45 a month per Active Directory per help desk user. So those are the 2 biggest buckets. You got that and the recurring hours, which makes up the guts of the agreement. In addition to that, the county wanted server monitoring and updates. So we added that 3 years ago, and we're keeping that in here because that's definitely a very good idea to keep your servers monitored, patched, and updated. So we kept that in there. So the 3 components listed here, the total is $13,840 per month. Today, with the old numbers, the old number of hours, and with 20 less users, you were paying $10,700. So that's the delta, the difference in what we're paying compared to what we're recommending for the new agreement. And we're waiving any fees to set up. We're not charging to set up. We're good to go there.
So
So the same agreement.
the 202, what number is that? That's a number of accounts? So that would be anybody with an email address?
Yeah, Active Directory users, right here.
911 is not included in here because they're not on our system.
I'm just thinking like even solid waste, for example.
They're on here because they have 2 of our email addresses.
We're basically not changing what we're covering, what we're doing. It's just updated with the right counts, the right rates, the right quantities of everything, and more hours for reoccurring because we know based on past history of where that needs to be to take care of the needs of the county. So that's why that's a little bit higher.
What is the cost of an hour if we go to hour 25? What's that hour cost us?
It's the same cost. You just will pay more. It's $175. It's $175.
We would buy
per hour.
another bucket.
Yeah.
And do we,
Well,
so there's no benefit to pre-buying them other than it locks us in for the next couple of years on that cost, is that correct?
yes.
What I mean is,
Yes.
hour 25 isn't $25 more an hour because we pre-bought it.
No. it's not, it's just for convenience, the hours are there for you to use. It's just it's, you know, it's less hassle for you, for Sandy, for everybody, if we get it right out of the gate on the hours. We could definitely charge you 70 more hours, and they would not cost you more than the rate quoted in the contract, you know, same rate.
Hours roll accumulate.
And we use them constantly.
Yes. Now, when you have all the projects that you guys did over the last 2 years,
Yes.
all the things are recorded as projects, and we had a lot of projects, as you're well aware, the last 2 years with the Justice Center projects. All the projects that are required, we quote that labor outside and on specifically separately from, and don't use recurring hours to this project. Recurring hours are used for anything that's not covered by help desk and workplace support, so things like rolling out PCs, you know, that kind of thing. Those can be done using recurring hours. Or anything else that's needed. Typically not project related hours.
It's basically the same contract we've kind of been under, we're just updating.
Is there anything that they've suggested that we add that you wanted or not? Or anything to take away? You're happy with this product?
You know, I think you have to, I mean, the more we grow, the more it's gonna cost us.
Sure.
But you have to monitor our servers. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer.
Chad and Cerise and Nick, I talked with Sandy about going with our next level support above this, which is called My Assurance. We've got 2 flavors, My Assurance full-fledged and My Assurance remote. My Assurance remote would have been $18,920 a month, which is almost over $5,000 a month more than this. And the additional $5,000 a month just gives you practically some proactive functions like software updates and monitoring and vendor management and rolling out PCs, and all those things are included in My Assurance. But we know from history, you're averaging about 20, 24 hours a month outside the agreement. So the My Assurance premium of $5,000 a month, we didn't think was worth the dollar value of going to My Assurance when this agreement, a la carte with these hours chosen, we feel like gives you the best value. There is a product called My Assurance, but it's a little pricey, and we did our diligence to look at that, and that just isn't quite the right fit. That's the value, what it would cost you to get into the My Assurance program.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Is there more to the presentation, or was it just the review we did today?
That's it, to my understanding.
But yeah, Riley was there for, you know, it was just this, but Riley didn't explain or talk about anything that you think we need to talk about in addition. But yeah, this is it here. It was the agreement, the addendum, addressing questions, and basically assured the county we'll probably what you got with a updated current product.
So the first time we would make this payment would be December, if it
February, we do 3 months at a time.
Yes.
and have we
Is it-
appropriated the funds for this increase in that?
There is money in the computers. We have money in the line.
I mean, I guess I was just saying, I don't want to approve if we don't have money next year. Do you think we budgeted enough?
I hope we did.
You're paying.
As far as I'm aware, there is enough.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I guess I'm prepared to move forward on it if, unless the board doesn't want to for some reason. Okay. Last chance for comment, anything? No? Mr. Schneider, you're satisfied with the Desert Farm?
Yes.
All right, I'll move that we approve the Matrix Integrated Services or Integration Managed Services Agreement along with Addendum A.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Ron, and thank you, Riley. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you to West County. Thank you. Thanks everybody. We really appreciate it. Thanks for us.
Bye-bye.
I'll send you a copy of it.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Monthly recurring fee to be invoiced on the 25th of the month following the month's services effective right away service will be provided to the applicant. It's less than forward and order. That's for the commission. We don't have to do that. If you want to switch from the following month, we do it about 3 months.
We do. This is now, just like.
Your note, so.
That's one.
We're gonna move on? Yes. Okay. Let's talk about Amazon Prime renewal. Do you have,
I don't really have anything. I can call Stacy to come over here.
So what my understanding is for the board is that we signed up for the Amazon Business Prime account. They gave us the first year for free. So we said, sure, we like free. And now that year is up. And they're asking if we would like to pay for that for another year. The charge that they have is a 1 year free is ending on November 29th, and then we will be charged $1,299.
Okay.
Prime gets us free shipping on all products, gives us better product pricing, and gives us 45 days to pay versus 30 days. That's okay, I've got the email. So it's $1,300. We get free shipping, better pricing on some products, and
2-day delivery.
45 days to pay versus the normal 30. My response was that seems like a substantial charge, but I also asked if we still get free shipping on orders. If we were not to sign up for Prime, is it still the same? I assume it's still the same. I don't use it very much myself. But if at home, if I spend over $35, I get it for free anyway. Is that still how it works? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's how it works. I do know that if you do it at home, you don't get as good a rate as we get for them.
What do you mean by rate?
The products are cheaper when we're in this Prime.
Get so much off, percentage off, when you have Prime.
We're gonna use it as worth it just for the shipping.
I know last week we had over $12,000 worth of stuff people had ordered last month. I mean,
$12,000 a month.
we are using it like crazy.
If you look in the claims, that is the number. This month, it just seemed like anything that was being purchased, that's where.
It's the easy button. Nobody writes checks or anything. You just go straight to Amazon and order it all day.
It is, every day I get email, because every person that orders comes to my desk, through my desk. I mean, I'm inundated with Amazon.
Yeah, if you look at the plans, it's on there. So,
So
That's rereading.
I definitely
it's
think,
convenient.
I think we use it.
So if you price shop, you find out that Amazon's not always the best price, and it changes a lot. So it might be the best price this month, and you go back and order it next month, and it's $10 more.
I'm not opposed to doing the Prime, I just think we spend too much money on Amazon. Just for special things that we can't find.
The only thing I can say is you gotta go out and talk to all the department heads then, because they're all doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, we got local companies that probably do a lot of this stuff that we're overlooking and going to Amazon. And I don't think it's right.
And I know back in the day, Huffman Office would come around and take order, they don't do that anymore. They don't come around at all. If you want their products, to go online and order it,
How do you get Amazon?
you go online and order it.
Okay.
I get it.
I mean, we're local government, we're supported by the people in this county, and we're buying from somebody somewhere else, and we're not supporting our local businesses. And I don't like it.
So is there any other discussion on what they are saying are benefits of this, or does everybody kind of have an understanding of what it is?
I think we have understanding.
I have noticed that Amazon started recently advertising that, did you know 60% of our things that we sell are from small companies, or, they're trying to make it more, but they can, like to your point, that's a small company somewhere else most of the time. And I don't know how to, so what do you, how do you, because I know that that's been a thorn for years. It just seems like it's becoming more and more that we're using it that way. Is there something you think we can or should do to encourage the department heads to do something differently? Or should we take it upon ourselves to go talk to small businesses and say, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on certain products and we're not buying them from you. Can you come and make yourself more available? Should that be on us as commissioners, or should that be on the local businesses to make their product, make it more available to the offices, or what? Do you have an idea?
I don't think we should have raised our credit limit, that's one thing. And I think we should be directing our department heads to buy local whenever possible and try. I don't think we even try. I think we go straight to Amazon, buy it, and move on to the next thing. And I understand the convenience of it, but I mean, at some point, we're not gonna have local businesses to buy from because we're gonna consolidate it all into Amazon. At least, I mean, I know Triple Walmart at least supports our local employees.
Walmart will deliver.
They do if you were, but, I mean, at least if we buy here, we're supporting our local employees. I don't know the definitive answer, but I think I would prefer to spend a little bit more here and keep it in the county.
I've only talked to one department head about their purchasing from there, and I think I brought up that example. They were saying we have a grant to buy, in this case it was child safety seats. We can buy them here and give them to 4 different families, or we can buy them on Amazon and give them to 7 families.
And I think in that example, I said, I think if we called our local Walmart and said, here's what I'm trying to do, they would probably look to take a few more steps, but I believe they would probably look at this.
All right, the end of the questions for today.
The only question, or the only statement I would make is if they're going to use it, let's try to get it at the better rates.
So I don't disagree. If we're gonna use it, we might as well do the Amazon Prime. As far as the topic of the matter today, we should probably approve the Amazon Prime.
Because I think the last year has proven that it was worth the money. Well, we didn't pay anything last year, but it would be worth the money in the future.
Where, do we have a line item for this? Where will it be paid from?
I don't have a line item for it.
Is there enough money in postage you pay for it?
There should be.
Is that where you want to take it?
I agree.
Okay. So
Or I
I'm-
could do other operating out of your commission budget.
I'll move that we approve the Amazon Prime renewal for the service we discussed today.
That's not good.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we still,
What was that cost
$12.99.
per month?
No, $1,299 a year. All right, next up, we'll just discuss this one, is the scanning of old minute books. So we had a couple of them brought over. The recorder's office has a nice big scanner that they use, and they are done with it for their purposes. So they said, do we have any documents that we want to have scanned? And I went over and reviewed some of the documents that we had, and there's a couple examples of them. Sandy was nice enough to have provided, so that we can decide if we want to, we would have to pay somebody for their time, but we could use their machine if we wanted to do it or not. We could find the value in it. So there are more modern things. Some of these are for everything from our claims, right? The claims that they've done over the years. There's been some of these that are minutes.
It's just how the minutes were done over the years.
So this is what they look like. These are the more recent ones. So I asked them to bring a more historic, something over 100 years old, and then something more recent. Because
Currently on the website, I have them scanned back to 2008, I believe, 97, but I think it's 8.
so part of me thinks, this will take some time. My thought was, how often are they going to be used? And I asked, where will it be? So let's say we scan this page, and somebody from the public wants to see it. Where will they go to find it? Well, they won't go anywhere to find it. Probably it'll just be saved in case it gets burned up or it gets lost, and we'll have a copy of it somewhere. Secondary, we could have it put publicly, but then I wonder who is going to go look at this stuff? Is it just a waste of time?
Probably search by date.
So I think some of this information is interesting, and I think our county attorney over the years goes back and looks at these things. And sometimes we need to find out what are the rules with the DuBois County Park property, or what happened in 1965 with that property. Sometimes we have to go look it up, but I guess we have to determine, is it worth our time and effort to have somebody scan all this stuff just in case it potentially gets burnt up or destroyed in another way, right? Or deteriorates, because things don't last forever.
From 67 to 77.
So like here, this is a good example. This is a couple pages from 1916. It says Commissioners Court, August term 1916. So this goes through and it says, we ordered that the board that Ben Doan be allowed $7 for public printing. Here for somebody at a certain bridge got $9. Here it's so much stuff that I don't think anybody will ever care about, will ever want to look at, other than if we just find it valuable to ensure that this is around. I'm afraid we're gonna have somebody take time to do it, nobody's ever gonna look at it anyway. That's part of my worry.
Well, my question was, I know we have a records librarian down there. I don't know what she's working on or what time she has. If she'd have time, this would be something she could be doing while she's there, 2 days a week, or 3 days a week. If not, that was just my thought.
Mr. Schneider, what do you think about the records and their usefulness from a legal standpoint?
I believe at some point they're too old and they're not going to be looked at too much.
There's limited value the older they get. For doing business purposes.
That's correct.
Like here talking about somebody that paid their bill late.
There's a truck bid opening.
I've seen a few of them.
Have you seen them?
I looked through a lot of them.
Pretty interesting.
So I didn't want to make any decisions on my own. Thought the board should look at it and determine if we Because otherwise, what the recorder wants to do is sell the machine. The sooner they sell it, the better price you probably get because of the technology gets old and outdated over time. Riley, you wanna come do this on your spare time?
Yeah.
This kind of thing you might do?
We can't afford
Can't afford it. I thought it was on your spare time, you know, like volunteer work. I suppose if it was up to me, I would say I don't think that the cost is worth the product to do it, because there's 30 of these, or more maybe.
There's a lot of old books. Now, my question would be, how far back is too old? I mean, that's,
Right, it's a good question, but I don't know if there's a good answer.
there's not, but.
Right.
I know just looking at these two, my thought was the one that's typewritten versus the one that's handwritten. Maybe go back to all the typewritten. I don't know. I mean, there's part of me who thinks there's value in keeping these records and have them somewhere where we know they're protected, you know, even though they're really old. Because, I mean, we had our courthouse burn one time before and lost a lot of it.
So I kind of look at it too, that, is it historic or is it old? I mean, is there gonna be value to it? Because these are old documents. Does anybody care that Mr. Smith paid $7 for his, you know, his dog tags in a given year? I don't know. I'm happy to do with whatever the board wants to do.
I think they need to be kept.
Do they need to be digitized is what the question is.
I think there's a few of these in here, like this particular one is, I think regarding the existence of a public highway in Bainbridge Township. I think there's a few things in here that probably would mean a lot to somebody. Whether it be on a legal aspect or story or whatever.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
need to be kept one
And you think that
one way or
just
another.
having it in this format here wouldn't be good enough?
I think this format probably would be.
But you're saying you think it's worth the time to digitize it as well?
I do. Oh, there's pages, pages of history in there, that stuff. I know it probably seems irrelevant to some people, but
I think I would support digitizing.
At what cost?
Is, but that's the thing. At what cost, I'm not sure. Do we have an estimate? How many books are there?
I'm guessing 30, but I just pulled that out of my pocket.
But you're not far off.
I went and looked, and we have a whole section in there, floor to ceiling, 7 feet tall, and plenty of shelves.
running out of space, I presume.
No,
It's
we
getting
have,
better now because they've digitized a lot of the court cases and all that stuff, so.
we have plenty of space now.
There's not any place that we can store these off-site anywhere.
Well, we do have
To be
stuff stored
secure.
at the library, at the museum.
You're talking about some more secure that wouldn't burn up.
Right.
No, we don't have that.
To where you wouldn't have to.
I think we should set a budget and scan as many as we can scan at that budget, and once we hit that budget, we can reassess.
True.
Then we would have a better idea of
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how fast they could scan, I don't really
what
know
it
that.
costs. You know, if we set a $5,000 budget and we get through 4 books, then maybe we don't go any farther. If we get through, 20 of them, then maybe we go ahead and finish out the next 10 and call it good.
All right, who wants to take the project on? I'm not interested.
I mean, I'm not gonna go scan them myself.
No, I know, but working it out with the recorder and the staff to do it.
Well, like you said, some money is in our,
Right, but you'd have to talk with Jackie. It's her machine.
to see how much time that they can take away to actually, I can talk to Jackie, it's not a problem. I could talk to her. And see what I can get done.
All right, so it looks like at least two of us are interested in scanning them, and Commissioner Steph and I will look into it. All right.
Yeah. As long as I don't have
Do you
to
wanna-
lug them, it's okay.
Do you want to talk about the small claims conference room, or is it just the information that I already know?
I had it on there, I didn't know, I mean, is the button working? I mean, we got them one.
Yeah, I don't think I want to talk about security probably in a public meeting. So
Okay.
we'll just kind
Just
of
take it.
pull that off and we'll check in with.
Just take it.
I'll reach out to them. Veteran Service Officer, so I think at a previous meeting, we've discussed the current Veteran Service Officer retiring, and we had a person that I thought was going to take that over, but I think that's probably didn't work out how we expected. So it's still a work in progress. I think we're putting together I think she's putting together a job description, working with Marky to see how we're going to proceed with that. So we may be going through a hiring process.
Okay.
Well, we're ahead of schedule, but I think it looks like, are you waiting for anyone else? The Sheriff's Department is here for discussion.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
So again, I'm here this morning to ask for deputy positions. Unfortunately, we did not get the grant from the COPS grant. Out of the whole state, there was only 3 departments that got the grant. It was Hammond, Fort Wayne, and Petersburg. Fort Wayne, I think, got 10 officers. Hammond got 3, and Petersburg got 1. I'm not sure what the right formula is for that. I'm gonna have a conversation with Petersburg, see how they did theirs or what theirs. I was upset, but Huntingburg Police Department actually hired a firm as well to do the grant and everything, and they also got denied. So I'm not sure if it's what's going on with some part of the state, or I just don't know the answer. All we can do is keep trying, but until that happens, I need deputies.
Are you able to review the other applications? Are they public or are you?
That's what I was gonna go ask. That's what I'm gonna go ask Petersburg and get a copy of them. I'm sure they'd be willing to turn over a copy or work with us or see a service that work with them. I don't know. I'm gonna try and find some answers and see what we can do. I don't know, again, I don't know what the magic juice is for us to get that money. So the paper I gave you is essentially a list of how our deputies work, our shifts and everything. And right now, I'm 4 deputies short. I'm down a sergeant, down a detective, and the 2 additional positions that we wanted to add was noon to midnight. So at any given time, let's say today.
Before you move on, what do you mean by you're down then?
So a sergeant, we never did hire another sergeant after Sergeant Pat Flanley left. We never replaced his position. So I'm down essentially a slot position for a sergeant.
So you replace the employee, you just
Correct.
make them a sergeant.
Correct.
So you're not down an overall staff member.
Correct. No, this would all be adding. And that's why I gave you the sheet. So given today, it's Monday, let's say a shift is working. So I would have 3 road deputies from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. tonight, 3 additional deputies would replace them. At 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, the day shift deputies would replace them. And so we work 12-hour shifts, 2 on, 2 off every other weekend. To alleviate that, that's why we wanted to create the noon to midnight shifts, 2 deputies per shift. So we would add 2 noon to midnights on A shift and 2 noon to midnights on B shift. So at any given time, if one of the day shifts is off, then they're only gonna work short for about 6 hours when the other deputies can come on at noon. Typically, that's our busiest time from noon to midnight. And that will also alleviate deputies that get a call at, let's say they get an OWI at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Instead of staying over till 8, 9 o'clock to finish paperwork, everything, all the procedures, noon to midnight deputy would take it, and that would alleviate for us getting more comp time and stuff like that for the deputies. Again, also FMLA, if a deputy goes on FMLA, then we're gonna be short deputy for about 8 weeks then, 6 to 8 weeks. And we don't have anywhere else to pull that from to fill in that shift. So that's where the noon to midnight deputies would alleviate some of that pressure.
The two folks that are at the academy, are they, where will they fill in?
They will go for the first year on that noon to midnight. That's where I have highlighted in blue. Once they come out of the academy, they'll probably still go through another 4-month FTO program, and then they'll be able to go on their own. And that's where we would put them at noon to midnight, where they can get a little bit of the night shift work, a little bit of the day shift after that first year, and then we'll be going to night shift.
What's FTO?
FTO, Field Training Officer. So for I think it's 12 to 16 weeks, once they're done with the academy, they'll be partnered off with a field training officer where they have different phases. First phase is showing him what to do. Second phase would be letting him drive, letting him take control of the situation. Third would be the field training officer would be in plain clothes, just silent and pretty much just shadow the officer and make sure he's doing everything right. And if he's good to go, then that's when he would sign off for the training officer to be let on his own.
And so these two people,
They're at the academy right now.
right,
I'm sorry.
but when they come back, will they be the fourth person on some of these shifts? Eventually after they go through their field training?
Correct. That's where they will be in the noon to midnight.
Okay.
So Zach Whiteside is currently at the academy right now. Drake is set to go to the academy in January. So realistically, Drake will probably not be on his own until probably November of next year.
So for shift, where you have A shift, 6A, 6B, 10, Whiteside would be number 4 on there.
Starting at noon. He would come in and work out at noon.
Right, during his training or always?
No, after he's done with his training.
Okay, so you're going to have so 2 people is enough to fill noon to midnight. One's like in December of next year when Drake and Zach are both fully trained, and we say we don't lose anybody else and everything goes as it should, as we hope, then we would have a noon, in addition to the 3 deputies on both of these. We already have in place 2 people to cover one
on each side, correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping up with you. I don't want to be misunderstand. Okay. Then do you want to go down and talk about the detectives as well, or is that?
Correct. Essentially, we would add another general detective that could be generalized in everything as well, like from sex crimes to property crimes and everything in that matter. So right now, we have Sergeant Wade Peters, who's in charge of the detectives. He also takes cases himself. We have Donna Hurd, who's a general detective, and then we have the 2 narcotic officers that are Case and Craig. They do strictly narcotics, anywhere from undercover buys to control buys to everything. They're constantly working on something with narcotics.
Okay. And the SROs, those are a different animal.
Correct.
In addition to this, then we have just the courthouse folks, which again are kind of in the same field as the SROs, where they're.
Correct. So essentially within our office, we got 3 departments. We have the jail side, we have the deputy side, we have the courthouse, and of course the SRO. Everybody's kind of their own little different thing.
If we went back, this just kind of popped in my head, if we went back to Sheriff Kleinhelmer's been in office for 6 years, approximately 5 3/4 years or so, right? When he was a detective, correct, before he was the sheriff. How many detectives were there 6 years ago at this time? 2?
Just one, no, two, one narcotics detective and just him.
Right. So we have a couple more staff doing that work.
Correct.
Okay.
And again, and him and I have actually spoken about the matter, because after he got office, then I was promoted to detective sergeant. And out of 2.5 years, the first 10 days were great. I didn't have a single case the first 10 days. I'm like, 11th day, we had a murder, and that took a lot of our time. And after that, I don't think I had a free time. In the 2.5 years, it was only about 2 days, I think. I had 2 days where I was caught up on all my cases, had anything. Third day, get flooded again. Unfortunately, our kid, not fortunate or unfortunate, I don't even know how to say it, but our kids are getting educated in school more about good touch, bad touch. That's not the proper use that they use, but along those lines where people are coming out and reporting sex crimes and cases like that. So our books are full most of the time with situations like that. Domestic disputes that go deeper than that, just any kind of cases. So typically we try to let the road officers work the road stuff where they're not consumed. Before in the past, if a rape case would come in, the road officer's working it. So now you're down to 2 officers doing calls, and that third officer interviewing people, investigating, taking DNA, doing everything else, while the other 2 are tied up on a serious call. There's another call that came out. Now that first deputy has to break away from that original case. So now we're focusing more on quality. We want somebody, if you have a serious crime that happens to you, we want somebody dedicated that's going to take the time to investigate it from beginning to end correctly, and in a timely manner. So that's where the increase has happened.
Okay, so I think I have an understanding of where you are currently now. To Commissioner Hofstadter, questions, Commissioner Stefan at this point? So then you're saying this is where we are currently. You have a couple question marks of positions you'd like to
Fill.
maybe be filled in some way. And so am I understanding correctly that, again, you've got Whiteside, Lechner taking noon to midnight for these 2 spots, and 2 of the ones that you're requesting are to have an additional person on those same shifts?
Correct.
And what's the purpose of that?
Coverage for a county. Again, if you have somebody on day shift, let's say if you have somebody on day shift, they're off on FMLA, they're sick, they're training, and you're down to 2, you're gonna have 1 more. If one of those isn't training, 2 to 3 people to cover this county is just not realistic. We just want better coverage where we're not working at maximum capacity for our county. Again, we have an accident in Holland right there at the intersection with multiple injuries. Our guys are going to be tied up. You get a domestic in Hillham, that's 25 minutes that it's going to take for one of them to break off and go over there. So I'd rather have more deputies to better cover the county than us working at capacity all the time.
And I believe previously we approved 2 positions pending the COPS grant. That's where we are historically. Is that your understanding as well?
And that's what I came to clarify.
Right.
I think you'd like to make those permanent positions versus pending the grant.
Okay.
I think that's what you're requesting.
Yes.
Well, they want the positions without that stipulation.
Right, they want them to make them permanent.
They don't exist yet, so they're not.
Right.
So all in all, are you looking for 4 new deputies or 2 new deputies?
4 new deputies.
4 new deputies.
And again, hopefully this sheet helps where it's not, if you give us 4, we'll try and figure out where we're going to put him. I'm showing you exactly where we're going to put him, so it makes a little bit more sense.
Currently, there's only 2 positions that we budgeted for, and that's these grant ones that council has put in their pending. So it's up to them to keep them. There's not 4 in the budget for next year.
Correct.
Right. would the board like to take action today, or do you want to sleep on it? Where are you thinking?
I don't think I'm ready to take action today. I'd like to see what you're trying to do here. Just need to wrap my head around it a little better, I guess.
I think I have my head wrapped around it pretty well. I'd like to have the sheriff, if he could come in and present next time, that way if we have any questions too, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he's the department head, second in command, but I think I'd feel more comfortable at being, I'm not trying to say anything bad about you, I'm trying to use my words properly here, but I'd prefer if the sheriff would make the request as well, since he is in charge of the department. But as of today, I don't feel strongly about adding them. I'm happy to hear any more information there is, but I feel like over the years that we've been here, we've been adding positions, and it feels like having 3 per shift, plus an additional floater, plus additional narcotics officers, and the new social worker deputy. I think we have more coverage and better coverage now than we've ever had, and I guess I'm not convinced, I guess, yet. I'm not saying no completely, but I'm not convinced yet. But I'm not speaking for the other 2. But I wanted you to, that way you have something to give me back and show me I'm wrong, if that's what if you want to.
I'm more than willing to sit down and discuss if we have any questions.
Either of the other commissioners have any more, anything else to discuss?
No, not at this time.
With the chief deputy? No? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I guess we have some time. Let's see where I'm at here. Dollar annual code.
How about we do the top one?
Yes.
All right, we have an agreement here that the undersigned having requested permission downtown running, Jamie John, to use the restrooms at the courthouse for the annual Turkey Trot 5K. That takes place on Thanksgiving morning, Thursday, November 28th. They're requesting it open from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. And I guess the benefit for them is if we allow them to use our restrooms, that saves them the expense of getting porta johns brought in, and that's more, since it is a charitable event, that is more money that can go to the benefactors, which says that the benefactors are Girls on the Run of Southwest Indiana and the Greater Downtown Jasper Business Association. I'm favoring it. How about the 2 of you?
I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'll move that we approve the request for downtown running for the Turkey Trot.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I'll do it.
This one next. We have an agreement for the Purdue University and the government of DuBois County, Indiana for the extension contractual services. I reviewed it. I'm okay with moving forward with it. If either of you have comments, questions, concerns?
No.
Concern?
Okay, I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Yeah, I don't have an issue. Sure. No, it's just, you know how it is, just got to process.
Gotta go let somebody decide,
Yeah.
same as you did.
I did reach out to Pitney Bowes. They can't price match because they're on a state contract and they can't change those contract prices. So The contract does go through next June. If we want to switch companies, we can't do that until next June. If we want to stay with Pitney Bowes, this contract, this price is good until through this year. And then we can start on a new machine this fall. So
What do you suggest? I mean, is there anything wrong with the machine we have? Is there a benefit to waiting?
you have to update the machine to meet what USPS. The new machine that they're proposing meets that standard that's coming in 27, I think it is, 20. And when we have, there's a change in 25 that it already meets it.
I think I'd be okay with taking your suggestion if we wait until June to do it, or if we want to do it immediately.
Well, the thing that concerns me is, what if this price goes up in the new year?
Well, I thought you meant this was good for a contract year.
Well, if we are under contract until June if you want to switch. We can't
Yeah.
switch until June. If we stay with Pitney Bowes, we can do now. This price that they gave me is up until December.
Okay,
And then we get a new machine at a new price.
right. You're thinking, maybe the state pricing will go up.
Right, who knows? She said she does not know what the state pricing is gonna do, but they follow that contract.
So then does our new contract start in June, or does our new
I think it
contract
would start in-
supersede?
I think it was starting in December.
Is that how you would understand, Mr. Schneider, that if our current contract runs through June, but if we sign a new contract, we would just start at the time of signing? Or would it depend on the language?
It would depend on the language, in my opinion.
Now,
Do I care?
I told the lady, we have supplies for this machine. I'd like to be able to use those supplies up. I mean, ink and postage tapes and all that. And we have money in a reserve account. The new machine would have to, all that would mean, I wanna know if it fits that or not.
Is the board, number one, we still okay with keeping Pitney Bowes? We're paying a little bit more, we're probably getting a little more, they're both going by the state contract. Yes?
Well,
Okay.
this was going by state contract, this was going by some national something, or she hasn't really got back to me totally on that, so. But this
I think
time,
we're comfortable with our experience with those folks.
I am. We've not had any issues. When we do, they come within 4 hours.
How about this, unless you're prepared to give us your recommendation today, we'll wait 2 weeks and we'll sign with you. I mean, I'm happy taking a recommendation if it's in our benefit to sign it now or to wait till December or wait.
I'm still in talks with her, so I just want to give you an update. Sure. She can't change that.
Okay. Next up, Life Springs contract, Mr. Rhodes?
Yep.
Unless somebody needs a break.
A couple things here, I got I'll hand this out as well. This is the Cobra rates for next year, starting in January 2025. Really on those, and then here's the Life Springs discussion point. I was talking to Sandy, we usually do this every year, we usually just for minutes purposes, we put the Cobra rates in the commissioner's agenda minutes. So more or less, that's just a formality to approve those.
So if, just for clarity, if a person goes out on, say they were granted a leave and they were gonna pay their own, this is what they pay.
This would be if they was to leave the county,
I was gonna say,
like termination or voluntary separation,
if I
then,
know it's not
and they wanna
this,
retain their insurance.
Okay, so what do we do with that FMLA? They get
they
the
pay our
Pay.
same rates. They're guaranteed their 12 weeks to pay what they pay now.
Because they're still employed.
So they pay 8% of this.
Correct.
If you have somebody on FMLA who exhausts their FMLA, then they could pay this rate after that, if you continue to let them on.
Okay, that makes sense to me, I just wanted to clarify. Any questions from either commissioner?
No.
I'll move that we approve the COBRA rates presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
And then
The Life Springs,
the last thing is the Life Springs agreement. I've sent this over to Greg and let him review it as well. Since then, we do have some ordinance materials that we're wanting to put in there that are not in the contract. So I've been going back and forth with Life Springs. I don't think it'll be an issue, but they got to take it to their council as well. So, but just for formality, I'll present the numbers and then we can take it under advisement until we get the the formal contract that both parties agree to. The big changes compared to 2024 versus 2025, under services and costs, it's going to $1.84 per employee per month. Currently, we're at $1.53. So slight increase there. And then on that same page, down to numbers 2 and 3, where the supervisor, 2-hour EAP training, that's going to $150 per hour, currently $100 per hour, which we don't utilize, we haven't utilized that service anyway, but that's the only 2 changes from 2024 to 2025.
So that number 2, that training there, I didn't understand that, I don't think when I read it initially, but that's saying if we wanted one of their supervisors to come train us.
Yeah, or we got certain people, like, new supervisor, we want to send through a training, that's what the cost would be.
I got
it.
Okay. I thought we were paying for their continuing education or something, and I didn't understand that at first.
No, just if we want to get, and I think what they do, they train them on, things to look out for as a supervisor,
If we want to have them come in for a meeting that has all of our department heads or something, then they would teach us something.
Yes, now that is a little bit different there,
That's number 3.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any issues?
But I will work with them and Greg on making sure everything's good on those once they're ready, but like I said, more or less just the language in the contract, we'll get that right, and then.
So that he doesn't have to come in front of us next time, I'll say that, I'll move that we approve the contract pending LifeSpring adding the contractual language that we require. Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. And then if they say, no, we're not doing it, then we'll bring it up again. But if you say we're doing it, I'll just sign it.
I don't see an issue, but it's everything go through the due process.
So I'll let you have that back.
Okay.
And you just let me know when you need, unless you want me to sign this one.
No, we'll wait on the due, so.
Anything else, Mr. Rhodes?
That's all I have.
How's hiring going?
Good, busy, voting, getting a lot downstairs for voting, and getting,
Price on there.
184.
184 per employee per month. We get several jail officers hired, so, like 2 or 3 weeks, we've been hiring about one of them each week, so. I had another one in there this morning, got another one next week, so,
Sounds good.
all right.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, Marky.
Verizon Fleet, Brent, anything new?
No, I don't have anything.
You get something done so I can erase it.
Okay, I can do that. I can definitely do that.
Just erase it.
Just erase it. Yeah. Sewer district, any updates from 2 weeks ago?
I still don't have anybody.
So we need, again,
Southeast School District. So
Were
one
you
outside
able to
of
help with
the.
that?
Huh?
Were you able to help find anybody?
I found one. I'll have to find, I'm looking to see if I know.
I did reach out, but I just don't have anybody yet.
Especially since it doesn't affect their area. That's what's hard.
so outside of the service area of, who services that? Virgin Zone.
October.
Everybody.
Because in that first, I was in San Antonio.
Haven't been about Tobin being up there as well, but they have to be outside the sewer area.
Basically somebody that's on septic. You're a popular guy on Facebook, so you can try there.
I just have friends that live in that area.
So if you try it there, I'll share it. You can, sometimes.
I'm sure I could write a really, put down job description and make somebody really excited about doing it.
For free.
Right.
Those are people that say, I've been wanting to get involved with sewer.
Yeah.
This is my opportunity. Okay. I don't think I have any additional miscellaneous things for today. We use the restroom, and then I guess we'll come back and talk to Mr. Strong. Does that sound good?
There's three commissioners, right?
Jeez. Oh, jeez. He needs to get his hearing fixed, and I need some.
Okay, I'll give it to them.
The least of his problems. An invitation right there to cure a lot.
I told you.
For the rest of the city.
As soon as they're done.
I win. He's got it. If they can afford it. I hope they can pay him. When they start paying him, there's some schools really want to coach him.
Wait till Mr. Schnare comes back and then we'll proceed.
I'll look at it.
Steve, Brent, Donnie, if you guys want to go, you're welcome to. I don't think we have any other business that the highway department will be involved in, do we today? I don't think we will. If you wanted to.
We can do that.
All right, let's begin. We have on the agenda Craig Strawman, he wants to address the board. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm a little nervous when I talk in front of people for years here, so, sorry if I seem a little nervous. Basically, today, what I came in about is, I'm here to discuss the tort claim I filed with the DuBois, against the DuBois County Sheriff Department and the Indiana Attorney General Office last November. I filed my tort claim and sent it certified to the Sheriff's Department. I waited a few months and nothing was ever done, no response or anything. Then after contacting Commissioner Blessinger, they finally took a look at it and it was sent to the insurance company, GIE out of Illinois. Their immediate response to me was they denied my claim by saying it was not filed in sufficient time, to which I totally disagree. The Sheriff Department would not contact me back as I told them the insurance company had made a mistake. I then contacted the Indiana Sheriff's Association. It filled me in on the situation. I then got a response from the Sheriff Department and my claim was sent to the insurance company again. Once again, it was denied, but this time the reason was due to the insurance does not cover losses due to theft by an employee. So here is where I sit now today. Nobody has taken my tort claim seriously, and I've just kind of been pushed away. Like I said, their insurance company they were very rude and unprofessional to me and about denying me the claim, as I tried to explain to them. So as of today, I'm sitting at a loss of what was taken from my personal property. while my truck all the DuBois County Sheriff's Department was in possession of my vehicle. The department can't provide me with an inventory of my vehicle from the night where my truck was towed. My truck was towed to Sternberg's, and they told me whenever I went there the next day to pick it up that an officer from the sheriff's department had returned that following morning and went through my property for a second time, and once again could not provide me with a complete inventory of my personal belongings that were in my truck. Now, along attached with this stuff, I do have some pictures, bank statements. I do have eyewitnesses to prove that I had money in my possession. It's even documented in my divorce papers that the money was in possession of the sheriff's department. It's been almost 18 months, I believe, and I'd really like to have my money back today. Now, with the recent news coming to light about our sheriff's department, this seems to be like a pattern of misconduct and unacceptable behavior that the department seems to be having. I'm asking that the county would be responsible to grant me my tort claim. And it's pretty much affected my life pretty bad. My business is gone, my reputation, and it's just, I'm pretty much fell on financial hardship ever since this happened. So, and that's pretty much it. I know I've talked with the Commissioner Blessinger several times about it, and I thank you for that too. You know, talking to me, you are the only one that ever did contact me back. So about anything, so I do appreciate that.
Craig, can you go back and explain to me a little bit of history here as to what happened and why your vehicle was towed?
Well,
Kind of in the dark here.
yeah, sorry. Well, I should have probably read my tort claim.
That's okay, that's okay.
Basically, I was just, it's on the 13th of March in 2023.
Okay.
It was a little after 9 p.m. I was pulled over by an officer, was told that I ran a stop sign.
Okay.
And then I immediately was searched by Officer Dogel. I was taken back to the car, my truck was searched. Then I was taken into police custody for having illegal items on me. And then that's whenever they took over possession of my vehicle.
Okay,
Yes.
got towed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the unfortunate thing, well, I'll give you a couple for the board's benefit.
Yeah.
What I kind of told Mr. Drummond that by email was, I have to proceed cautiously with anything whenever anyone's threatening lawsuits against the county, because we have, we become adversaries, I suppose, if there's somebody threatening to sue us. So what I recommended to Mr. Strawman was that he was welcome to come and I don't want anybody ever to think that we're trying to hide anything. If someone in the public has a concern, we have a forum here where people can come and voice their concern. I don't think we have any action that we can take other than taking the information, because we are, I just think that's where we are. So I just wanted to say that I wanted him to feel like he was being heard, that us as a board of commissioners, we're not hiding anything. If he wants to say his piece, he said it, he gets to say it. It's publicly made available, and again, it's the same thing that we would offer to anyone that has any kind of issue.
Yes.
They have the opportunity to redress their government.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are. This isn't like
Is there any suggestions that you could make to my step to get my things back.
I think the most of a suggestion that I'd be able to give you and feel like I was
Yeah,
being, proceeding as I should, is that you'd have to just get legal advice, get a legal counsel on your own. And if, and they will guide you as they see appropriate. We're not a board of attorneys. This attorney works for us, so.
yeah, but exactly, yeah,
I think that kind of limits where we are.
yeah, okay.
That's, accurate, Mr. Schneider.
It does, yes. Again, the only would be to seek legal counsel and see what advice they could provide to you.
Okay.
So we just wanted to provide a forum for you to say what.
And I do appreciate that, you know, I mean, it's nice to get my voice heard, you know, and just, you know, I grew up in this county and, got a lot of friends here and a lot of people, and it hurts when this happened, you know, I mean, it really does. It's really affected my life severely, but yeah, I guess, I do appreciate you letting me come in and speak, and I guess I'll just have to go from there.
All right, thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Craig.
Is there any, business from the public or any public comments that need to be made today? Not seeing any. We'll go around the room one more time. Mr. Schneider, anything for the board today?
I followed up with you guys via email on the 2 appointments. The city of Jasper did recommend Tracy Lori. That was last November. We adopted that.
And that is their sole.
Yes. And the library representative who you've appointed before, she's still willing to serve.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else? Anything from the county auditor?
I think I've finished.
Nothing for myself?
I'm good, I'm sorry, I'm good.
So you're gonna go ahead with Lori then, right?
Well, I'll still contact her to make sure she wants to continue
Oh,
to serve. But we just wanted to make sure that wasn't a position that
Gotcha.
we had to go through the city first.
Right. They get one.
We would have to give them that on the first time the statute changed.
Okay, anything else?
I got something for you,
Yes, sir, come on up.
but I don't have to on this one. Back in 1916, how much do you think killing a chicken hawk was worth?
What?
Killing a chicken hawk in 1916, that's worth at least $1.
$1.50.
$1.50.
At least $1, you're right.
I know that they're probably never gonna be anything valuable, but they are in a way they're still.
No, they're interesting and
Very.
they have good information in them.
And there are times when I go back, and I don't go back that far, but there are times when I go back. I mean, I just did it for the council with our precious angel. I went back and searched, so you do go back to
Yeah, you would think the last 100 years might be worth.
or at least 50 years. I mean,
We already have, what, the last 7?
I think we
We
have
have
back to
18
2008.
online from 18 forward.
There's more than that.
Oh, that's just on the page.
You all got dots, so,
I could probably archive it.
Yeah.
Get deeper.
I think there's 7 or 8.
It's all the way down.
I could be wrong.
All right, we'll close the
I
meeting.
don't know what
These are yours. Okay. Those bridges.
all
This will only
the.
kill 3 of them.
Yeah, supplies.
All the way down through.